Hey guys, it's me, Pana, and I'm back again with another video. So, as you can see, this is definitely a really big video. Like, look at the title. I am finally making my college decision. I committed to this school today, and it's been so stressful trying to figure this whole thing out. But I'm going to college in like less than 3 months, and that just blows my mind. I think I'm still a freshman, like what? So let's talk about it. Today I am going to talk about my top 2 schools and how I was really like same between them. I couldn't make a decision to save my life until like now, 2 weeks before decision day. Yeah, so the 2 schools that I was really tied between and I needed help deciding, which are the 2 schools I'm going to talk about today, are Chapman and Hofstra University. Both on the opposite sides of the country, as you can see by this image. Both on opposite sides of the country, similar schools but in complete different environments. So that's a little crazy. I'm gonna jump into the application process, how I got accepted, like the whole deal. I'm gonna insert clips from my visits at Chapman and Hofstra and just talk about how I made my decision. I started off this fall with applying to 8 schools early action and 10 schools regular decision. That totals up to 18 colleges. I know, I went a little bit overboard, but I applied to Chapman early action. So I didn't really have a choice with my major. All around, I'm majoring in film, TV production. So at Chapman University, the major is creative producing, and I applied to their Dodge College Film School. What happened is I applied. You have to, if you were going into film, apply early action. So I did. The application was due about October-ish. Then I waited till January, February, early action came out. I was deferred. I was like, okay, this isn't a rejection, but why did I get deferred? Like, I didn't understand. It was my first deferral. I didn't really understand why like people deferred, and I ended up getting deferred by a bunch of schools after that. But I was just like, what? So I emailed my admission counselor, who I met with at school because Chapman came and like had an info session at my school. So I emailed her and I asked her, hey, like what was wrong with my application that made me not accepted for early action but deferred to regular decision? And she said, no, like your academics were stellar. It must have been something that got held up in the film school. So then I was stressing out. I was watching YouTube videos as one does, you know, looking up about the schools, and I see a YouTube video from this girl, has same grades as me, has better test scores than me, and she got rejected. And I was like, what? That's crazy. So I gave myself, it pumped me up a little bit to feel better than getting completely rejected. So then I'm waiting. March comes around and regular decision comes out. I'm literally in my shower, taking a shower, and my phone buzzes. I look over to the toilet and see like what it says, and it says your application status has been changed. I freak out, run out of the shower, grab a towel, run, sit down at my computer, open it up, and there it is. You've been accepted for creative producing for the fall class of 2023. I was ecstatic. It was like, what? Dodge College has a 20% acceptance rate overall, and creative producing, I believe, has like a 13% acceptance rate. So I was like, what? Then I had toured Chapman in Thanksgiving of last year, but I went back 2 weeks ago, did Panther for a day, got the full experience. I got to go to class there, I got lunch, sat in the cafeteria, toured the whole school, and here are my clips from it. It was a super fun day. I met some really cool people and they were all super nice, and the class I had was really interesting, and I actually like really enjoyed it. It was really small. It only had 10 people like in the class, but I thought I would hate that, but I honestly like liked it. So I was like, okay. So now we're moving on. Hofstra University. Hofstra University is in Hempstead, New York. I got into Hofstra University. It was another one of the schools I applied early action to, and I got in, and I was like, ooh, it was one of the first schools I got into, and I was super excited because I was not rejected, and I was like, yes, my heart is warm. And it was super cute, and it was so genuine because they definitely read like your essays. Like I didn't think like colleges actually read your essays, but they do. I got a personalized note on my application that said you've been accepted, like written out in handwriting to me, saying like, wow, I loved your part about this roller coaster in your essay. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so kind and sweet, wow. So New York also has a special place in my heart because a ton of my family lives there. I literally just came back today from New York, and I love them all, and it'd be so, I was like, oh, it's so nice to live all next to them. Seasons, New York City, like I love New York, wow. So I was really interested in Hofstra, especially because they do have a really good school of communications, which is the Lawrence Herbert School of Communications. And it's also connected on their campus versus Dodge Film School is not. It's like 5 minutes away. So that was also really intriguing to me, and they've had people intern at SNL, Jimmy Fallon, a lot of different talk shows and television shows that are live. So I was really interested in that aspect as well. So I went out there and I toured Hofstra. Here are some clips. Their facilities were really nice. They were advancing. Their Studio A was huge, and they were really considerate to the fact that a professor emailed me the night before I went to tour, and that next day he responded super quick that he met up with me, talked to me about the school, gave me a whole private tour, like explained to me everything that goes on, like what classes are like, let me go and sit in on like what students are doing right now and like their editing lab and look at the videos that they're making. And I was just like, wow, like you guys are so considerate. They were both really tied. Ew. Both schools are amazing, and yes, one has a higher acceptance rate than the other. That should not matter, and I want this to go out to like every junior, sophomore, anyone who's applying to college, even if you're transferring, whatever. The acceptance rate, and if it's high or low, it doesn't matter. What matters is if you feel good at the school, because if you feel at home, like that's the place you're supposed to go. Here we go. This is where I tell you what I decided. I've decided to go to college at Chapman University. I am super excited to be committing to Chapman and their film school for a creative producing major. The reason why I chose Chapman was because I felt that they could offer me a little bit more than Hofstra could. When I sat in on a class, like I just like fell in love with the campus, and I fell in love with the school, and the food was amazing. Like Hofstra's food was good too, don't get me wrong. But I literally just felt at home, and I felt like I could live here for the next 4 years, which is what you need to like think about when you're going to a school. You gotta think, can I live here for the next 4 years? I'm excited to be part of the Chapman graduating class of 2023, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.